Hello, my name is Mark Evans. This is Mobile Player Experience 1303, Week 3. And this week, we're going to go over game mobility heuristics and multiplayer heuristics and how these stack up for both of the applications I picked for this week. The first game I'm going to go over is Ruzzle, the same game I've been going through the past 2 weeks. And I'll start here at the top. The game and play sessions can be started and stopped quickly. I gave it a cosmetic rating, which isn't that bad, but as you can see here on the screen, it says you can click the button here to start new game. Well, what that actually does is that opens up another screen that gives you options to play online or practice offline or whatever. I would like to see possibly the ability to practice straight from this screen instead of going to another screen, or even have a random opponent on this screen and then your another screen to drill down for the start new game would be fine for digging a little deeper for the Facebook or social media integration. But it did fairly well with the ratings here for the mobility heuristics. But the second section, the game conforms to device settings and surroundings. It does a good job of that. It has some account settings and various UI things and gameplay all fall in line. The game handles interruptions, and it actually does. The game will pause and you'll get a screen like this. If you get a phone call, you'll actually get this screen. So somebody's calling, you'll get this screen, this game interruption. So they do a good job with that. The game contrast accounts for screen glare and fingerprints, and it actually does a really good job at that. It's got a bright colored UI, and I've even had where my phone dims a little to save battery, and it still is the color is vibrant and maintains a very good contrast. Okay, down here at the bottom at multiplayer heuristics, the game supports communication, and it does. There's a little chat window here where you can speak to your opponent. Are there reasons to communicate? If you want to talk smack, they have the opportunity to do it here. The game helps the player find other players, and you'll see when you hit start new game, you can find Facebook friends, Twitter followers, Russell friends, or a random opponent. So there are plenty of ways to find players, and social media tying into this app does a good job of that. The game supports groups and communities. Well, as far as having friends, it does. So it actually satisfies that requirement, but not sure how much more you need for the scope of this application. The design minimizes deviant behavior. The design is very simple in nature, so it doesn't affect. It doesn't allow the user to get himself in trouble. So it does a good job of that. When you have no connection, you'll get a little progress bar, and it'll just keep spinning until you get a connection. It might be better if they could just tell you right off the bat that you have no connection, and maybe these feature would be disabled, but they give you a little progress bar that spins and spins and spins. Still doesn't affect the gameplay, or doesn't cause the application to crash or anything. The design hides the effects of the network, and that's exactly what I was just talking about. Like, the little progress spinner will spin, and it'll continue where it left off. So okay, so I'm gonna go over game 2, which was Super Stickman Golf. And for this, I'll start right there at the top. So Game mobility heuristics for Super Stick Bang Golf. The game and play sessions can be started quickly and stopped. I recommend that they should have a tutorial for the online gameplay, because when you get to the main screen, there isn't a whole lot of info to tell you how the online gameplay works. When you click the multiplayer, you get two options to play online or local using your Wi-Fi, and it can be a little misleading. But when you use the game center, that's the one I think they're aiming for you to use, because that gives you the functionality to find opponents near you. If you don't have friends set up in there, it can be a little misleading. So a tutorial would be good for this. The game conforms to device settings and surroundings. I think it does a good job of using a lot of native elements, especially Game Center and everything, because users are used to using it. The game handles interruptions and calls and texts and saves, and it does a good job of that. There's nothing timed in this game, so there is no timer that you're going to interrupt. It's asynchronous, to where you can just pick up and play at any time. So it does a good job with that. The game contrasts the amount for screen glare and fingerprints, and it does a good job with that. The color scheme that they use and everything, with the black on blue contrast, makes it very easy to see, especially with sunlight and all that. So they do a good job with that. The multiplayer heuristics. The game supports communication in the sense that it uses Game Center for its communication. Like this screen here, I guess it fulfills that requirement, but I would like to see maybe a chat feature added. So that's why I gave it a little minor discrepancy, because it doesn't give you a chance to, to talk smack, do whatever you need to do. And that falls right into what the next section. There are reasons to communicate. I guess they're really, I guess it's questionable. I guess they thought that you didn't need it. So, but it would be nice to talk smack to an opponent. I mean, that's always part of being competitive, is to be able to talk to the opponent. So, I think that there should have been. So, I didn't give it a bad rating, but I did account for it being a little bit of an issue, especially if they want to further expand the scope of the game. The game helps players find other players in game instance, and you can see here on this multiplayer, using Game Center, you can actually find players near you, or players waiting for a game. The design minimizes deviant behavior, and using Game Center helps that, because it's a pretty standard. It's pretty standard in the way it's set up with their leaderboards and the connectivity and everything, and it's. I think they did a good job of that, even with their own design, keeping it real minimal and simple. The handle. The design hides the effects of the network, and I think they do a good job with that too. You can see the little spinners when there isn't a connection. It'll actually show you that it's searching for a game. Even when there is no connection and you turn your cellular data off, it'll just keep spinning. It doesn't crash the app or anything. So they did a good job of hiding the stuff and keeping everything functional. But, those are my heuristics for my two games, and that's it. Take care. Bye.